Hello dear friends, this is your personal English coach Divyam here, and today we're gonna discuss The Merchant of Venice Act 3. My previous videos have already covered Act 1 and 2, so do check them out. Also, I have uploaded a very simple story format of the same play in simple English, although the narration is by experts. So do check that out as well. You should see a link to the simple story format in this video. So, let's begin. Scene 1. Venice, a street. Salenio and Celerino enters. So, what's the news on Rialto? Well, there's a rumor that Antonio had a ship carrying expensive cargo that shipwrecked in the English Channel on the Goodwin Sands, a very dangerous sandbar. Many ships have sunk there according to rumors. I hope this new rumor is a lie, like the gossiping widow's claim that she was sorry her third husband died. But it's true. I don't want to get all mushy and go on and on, but good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, if I only had a title good enough to match his. Come on, get to the point. What are you saying? Well, the point is, he's lost a ship. I hope that's all he loses. Let me say amen quickly before the devil comes in and stops my prayer, because here comes the devil disguised as a Jew. Shylock enters. How's it going, Shylock? What's the news among the merchants? You knew. No one knew as well as you did about my daughter's plan to run away. That's true, I even knew the tailor who made the disguise she wore when she ran off. And Shylock knew his daughter was ready to run away. It's natural for children to leave their parents. She'll be damned for it. That's true if the devil's judging her. My own flesh and blood turned against me, a rebel. No, your flesh still rebels at your age? I mean, my daughter is my flesh and blood. You two are totally different. Your flesh is more different from hers than coal is from ivory. There's more difference between your bloods than between red wine and white. But tell us, did you hear anything about Antonio's loss at the sea? That's another bad deal I've made. A bankrupt, a spendthrift who now has to hide his head on the Rialto. A beggar who used to look so smug in front of other merchants. Let him think about his own debt. He liked to call me a loan shark. Let him think about his debt to me. He used to lend money as a favor between Christians, but now let him think about his own debt. But you won't take his flesh if he can't pay. What's that good for? I'll use it for fish bait. You cannot eat human flesh, but if it feeds nothing else, I'll feed my revenge. He's insulted me and cost me 500,000 ducats. He's laughed at my losses, made fun of my earning, humiliated my race, thwarted my deals, turned my friends against me, riled upon my enemies. And why? Because I'm a Jew. Doesn't a Jew have eyes? Doesn't a Jew have hands, bodily organs, a human shape, 5 senses, feelings, a passion? Doesn't a Jew eat the same food, get hurt with the same weapons, get sick with the same disease, get healed by the same medicine, and warm up in summer and cool off in winter just like a Christian? If you prick us with a pin, don't we bleed? If you tickle us, don't we laugh? If you poison us, don't we die? And if you treat us badly, won't we try to get revenge? If we are If we are like you in everything else, we will resemble you in that respect. If a Jew offends a Christian, what's the Christian's kind and gentle reaction? Revenge. If a Christian offends a Jew, what punishment will he come up with if he follows the Christian example? Of course, the same thing. Revenge. I'll treat you as badly as you Christians taught me to, and you will be lucky if I don't outdo my teachers. One of Antonio's servant enters. The servant speaks to Solenio and Salarino. My master Antonio is at his house and would like to speak to you both. We've been looking for him everywhere. Tubal enters. Here comes another Jew. You couldn't find a third like these two unless the devil himself turned into a Jew. Solenio, Salarino, and Antonio's servant exits. Hello, Tubal. Any good news from Genoa? Did you find my daughter? I went to many places where I heard news about her, but I could not find her. One of the stolen diamonds cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. I never felt the curse of the Jew until now. I never felt it until now. 2,000 ducats in that diamond and other precious jewels. I wish my daughter were dead at my feet wearing those jewels. I wish she were in her coffin here, with ducats in her coffin. You couldn't find out anything about them? Why? I don't even know how much I'm spending to find them. Loss upon loss. The thief left with so much, and I'm spending so much to hunt down the thief, and still I'm not satisfied. I haven't gotten my revenge. The only luck I have is bad luck. Nobody suffers but me. Nobody's crying except me. Well, other men have bad luck too. Antonio, as I heard, is in Genoa. What? Bad luck? Bad luck? He's had a ship wrecked coming from Tripolis. Thank God. Thank God. Is it true? Is it true? I spoke with some of the sailors who survived the wreck. Thank you, Tubal. Good news. Good news. Heard in Genoa. I also heard that your daughter spent 80 ducats in Genoa in one night. Oh, you're sticking a dagger in me. I'll never see my gold again. 80 ducats in one shot. 80 ducats. I came to Venice with a number of Antonio's creditors who say he won't be able to avoid going bankrupt. I'm very glad about that. I'll hound him. I'll torture him. I'm very glad. One creditor showed me a ring he got from your daughter in exchange for a monkey. Damn her. You are torturing me, Tubal. That was my turquoise ring. Leah gave it to me before we were married. I would not have given it away for a whole jungle of monkeys. But Antonio's certainly ruined. That's true. That's very true. Tubal, go find me a police officer to arrest Antonio. Get him ready 2 weeks ahead of time. I'll take Antonio's heart if he cannot pay. With him out of Venice, I can make whatever bargains I want when I lend money. Go, Tubal, meet me at the synagogue. And then they exit. Scene number 2. Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Bassanio, Portia, Graciano, and Nerissa enter with all their attendants, including a singer. Portia is talking to Bassanio. Please wait a day or two before making your choice. If you choose wrong, I'll lose your company. So wait a while. Something tells me, not love, but something that I don't want to lose you. And you know that if I hated you, I would not think that. But let me put it more clearly in case you don't understand. Though I know girls are not supposed to express their thoughts, I'm just saying I'd like you to stay here for a month or two before you undergo the test for me. I could tell you how you choose correctly, but then I'd be disregarding the oath I took. So I'll never tell, but you might lose me by making the wrong choice. If you do choose wrong, you'll make me wish for something very bad. I'd wish I had ignored my oath and told you everything. God, your eyes have bewitched me. They've divided me in two. One half of me is yours, and the other half, my own half, I'd call it, belongs to you. If it's mine, then it's yours, and so I'm all yours. But in this awful day and age, people don't even have the right to their own property. So, though I'm yours, I'm not yours. If there's no chance for me to be yours, then it's just bad luck. I know I'm talking too much, but I do that just to make the time last longer and to postpone your test. The only treason I'm guilty of is worrying that I'm never going to get to enjoy you. Treason has nothing at all to do with my love. They are as opposite as hot and cold. I'm not sure I believe what you're saying. Men under torture will confess anything. Promise me you will let me live and I will confess the truth. Alright then, confess and live. Confess and love is more like it. Oh, torture's fun when my torturer tells me what I have to say to go free. But let me try my luck on the boxes. Go ahead then, I'm locked in one of them. If you really love me, you'll find me. Nerissa and the rest of you, get away from him. Play some music while he chooses. Then if he loses, it will be his swan song, music before the end. And since swans need water to swim in, I'll cry him a river when he loses. But on the other hand, he may win. What music should we play then? If he wins, the music should be like the majestic trumpets that blare when the subjects bow to a newly crowned monarch. It's the sweet sounds at daybreak that the dreaming bridegroom hears on his wedding morning, calling him to the church. Bassanio's walking to the boxes now. He looks as dignified as Hercules did when he saved the princess, Hesione, from a sea monster. But he loves me more than Hercules loved the princess. I'll play Hesione and everyone else will be bystander watching tear-streaked faces. We've all come out to see what happened. Go, Hercules. If you survive, I will live. I'm more anxious watching you fight than you are in the fight itself. A song plays while Bassanio mulls over the boxes. The singer starts singing. The song lyrics are something like this. Tell me, where do our desires start? In the heart or in the head? How are they created? How sustained? And everybody says, answer me, answer me. Singer continues singing. Desires start in the eyes, sustained by gazing. Desires die very young. Let's all mourn our dead desires. I'll begin. Ding dong bell. Everybody says ding dong bell. You cannot always judge a book by its cover. People are often tricked by false appearances. In court, someone can deliver a false plea but hide its wickedness with a pretty voice. In religion, don't serious men defend sins with scripture, covering up the evil with a show of good? Every sin in the world manages to make itself look good somehow. How many people are cowards at heart but wear beards like Hercules or Mars, the god of war? Take another example. Beauty. It can be bought by the ounce of makeup, which works miracles. Women who wear it the most are respected the last. It's the same thing with the hair. Curly golden hair moves so nicely in the wind and makes some women beautiful. But you can buy that kind of hair as a wig, and wigs are made from dead people's hair. Decorations, nothing but danger, meant to trick and trap the viewer. A lovely cunning shore can distract a man from the perils of stormy sea, just as pretty scarf can hide dangerous dark-skinned beauty. Nowadays, everyone's fooled by appearances, so I'll have nothing to do with that gaudy gold box. It's like the gold that Midas couldn't eat. And I will have nothing to do with the pale silver either, the metal that common coins are made of. But this humble lead one, though it looks too threatening to promise me anything good, moves me more than I can say. So this is the one I choose. I hope I'm happy with my choice. Portia speaks to herself. All my other emotions are vanishing into thin air, as all my doubts and desperations and fears and jealousy are all flying away. Oh, I need to calm down, make my love and my joy less intense. I'm feeling this too strongly. Please make my love less, or I'm going to overindulge, making myself sick. Bassanio opens the box. The lead box. What do we have here? A picture of beautiful Portia. What artist captured her likeness so well? Are these eyes moving? Or do they just seem to move as my eyes move? Her sweet breath forces her lips open, a lovely divider of lovely lips. And look at her hair, looking like golden mesh to trap the hearts of men like little flies in a cobweb. The painter was like a spider in creating it so delicately. But her eyes, how he keep looking at them long enough to paint them. I would have expected that when he finished one of them, it would have enraptured him and kept him from painting the other. But I'm giving only faint praise of the picture, just as the picture, or as good as it is only a faint imagination of real woman herself. Here's the scrawl that sums up my fate. You who don't judge by looks alone have better luck and makes the right choice. Since this prize is yours, be happy with it and don't look for a new one. If you're happy with what you won and accept this prize as your blissful destiny, then turn to where your lady is and claim her with a loving kiss. A nice message. My lady, with your permission, this note authorizes me to give myself to you with a kiss. But I'm in daze like someone who's just won a contest and thinks that all the applause and cheering is for him, but isn't sure yet. And so, beautiful lady, I'm standing here just like that, wondering whether all this can be true until you tell me it is. You see me standing here, Lord Bassanio. What you see is what you get. Though I wouldn't wish to be better for my own sake, for your sake I wish I were 20 times more than myself, 1,000 times more beautiful and 10,000 times richer, just so you might value me more. So my good qualities, beauty, possessions, and my friends who would be more than you could calculate. What you're getting is an innocent and inexperienced girl. I'm happy that at least I'm not too old to learn new things. I'm even happier that I'm not stupid. I can learn. I'm happiest of all that I'm yours now, my lord, my king, and you can guide me as you wish. Everything I am and everything I have now belongs to you. Just a minute ago, I was the owner of this beautiful mansion, master of these servants, and queen over myself. But as of right this second, all these things are yours. As of right this second, all these things are yours. With this ring, I give them all to you. Okay, before that, if you ever give away this ring or lose it, it means your love's doomed and I'll have a right to be angry with you. Portia gives Bassanio the ring. Madam, you've left me speechless, but my feelings are responding to your words. I'm as confused as a crowd of people going wild after hearing their prince gave a speech. But the day I take this ring off will be the day I die. If you see me without it, you can be confident I am dead. My lord and lady, it's now our turn, who have been watching as our dreams come true. Now we can shout, "Congratulations, congratulations, my lord and lady." My lord Bassanio and my dear lady, I wish all the joy I can wish for. And when you get married, I hope I can be married at the same time. Absolutely, if you can find a wife by then. I think I've found one already. Thanks to you, my lord, I can fall in love just as quickly as you can, and I loved Nerissa as soon as I laid eyes on her. You fell in love with Portia, and I fell in love with Nerissa, because I'm not in the habit of delaying any more than you are, my lord. Your fate depends on those boxes, and it turns out that mine did too. I couldn't help but chase her. I started making love vows to her till my mouth was dry. Then finally she said she loved me and would marry me if you too got married as well. Is that true, Nerissa? Whatever he is speaking, is that right? Yes, ma'am, it is. If it's all right with you. And do you mean what you are really saying, Gratiano? Yes, my lord. Then we'd be honored to have you join us in the wedding ceremony. Gratiano speaks to Nerissa. Let's bet with them 1,000 ducats that we will have a son first. You want to stake down the money now? Hey, if I lay down my stake, I'll never be able to have a son. But who's this coming? Lorenzo and his pagan girlfriend? What, and my old Venetian friend Salerio? Lorenzo, Jessica, enter with Salerio, a messenger from Venice. Welcome, Lorenzo and Salerio. I hope my position in this new house is firm enough to allow me the right to welcome my friends. Bassanio now speaks to Portia. With your permission, Portia, I welcome my good friends and countrymen. I do too, my lord. They are entirely welcome. Lorenzo speaks to Bassanio. Thank you, sir. I didn't intend to come see you, but I ran into Salerio on the way, and he begged me to come along with him until I couldn't say no. That's true, and with good reason. This letter is for you from Signor Antonio. Salerio gives Bassanio a letter. Before I open this letter, please tell me how my good friend is doing. He's not sick, my lord, but he's very upset and his problems are serious. His letter will tell you how he's doing. Bassanio opens the letter and reads. Gratiano is pointing to Jessica now. Nerissa, welcome the stranger. Salerio, welcome. Any news from Venice? How's the great merchant Antonio doing? I know he'll be a happy man to hear of our success. We are like the ancient hero Jason. We went looking for the golden fleecy and won it. I wish you'd won the fleecy he lost. Something bad in that letter is making Bassanio turn pale. Some good friend of his must have died, because nothing else in the world could change a man so much. What does the news only get worse? Please, Bassanio, I'm half of you, so let me bear half the burden this letter brings you. Oh, Portia, these are some of the worst words that ever stained a piece of paper. My darling, when I gave you my love, I told you that all the wealth I had ran with my veins, that I have noble blood, but no money. When I said that, I told you the truth. But my dear, when I said I was worth nothing, I was actually bragging. I should have said I was worse than nothing. I have borrowed money from dear friend, who in turn borrowed money from his mortal enemy for my sake. Here's a letter, my dear. The paper's like my friend's body, and every word in it is a bleeding wound on that body. But is it true, Salerio? Have all this business venture failed? Not even one succeeded? He had ships to Tripolis, Mexico, England, Lisbon, North Africa, and India, and not one of these ships avoided the rocks. Not one, my lord. Anyway, if he had the money now, the Jew probably wouldn't take it. I've never seen a creature with a human shape who was so eager to destroy a man. He's at the Duke's morning and night, accusing the state of harming free trade if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the highest ranking Venetian nobles have all tried to persuade him to forget his contract, but nobody can do it. He's determined to get penalty specified in his contract with Antonio. When I was still living with him, I heard him swear to Tubal and Cush, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the sum Antonio owed. And I know that unless the law intervenes, it will be bad news for poor Antonio. Is this your good friend who's in so much trouble? Yes, he's my best friend, the kindest man and most courteous to others. He's more honorable than anyone else in Italy. How much does he owe the Jew? 3,000 ducats. What? That's all? Pay him 6,000 and cancel the debt. I'll pay 12,000 before I'd let a friend like that suffer, in the slightest, because of you. First, come with me to the church to get married, then you can leave for Venice to see your friend. You have to go, because you'll never sleep next to me peacefully without settling this. I'll give you enough gold to pay back your debt 20 times over. When it's paid, bring your friend back. Until you get back, Nerissa and I will live like virgins and widows. Come on, let's go, because you're going to leave me the same day we get married. Put on a happy face and welcome your friends. Since it's costing me a lot to marry you, I'll think of you as even more precious. But let me hear a letter from your friend. Bassanio starts reading. Dear Bassanio, my ships have all been wrecked. My creditors are getting mean. My money's almost run out. I couldn't pay my debt to the Jew on the due date. Since I'll certainly die when he takes his collateral out my flesh, all debts are cleared between you and me if I can just see you again before I die. In any case, do what you want. If your affection for me doesn't convince you to come, don't let my letter do so. Oh my darling, make your arrangements and go. Since you're letting me leave, I'll hurry, but I won't sleep till I get back. Then they exit. Scene 3. Venice, a street. Shylock, Salenio and Antonio and jailer enters. Jailer, watch out for this one. Don't try to convince me to feel sorry for him. This is the fool who lent out money without charging interest. Jailer, keep an eye on him. Listen to me, good Shylock. I'm going to get my bond. Don't try to say anything against my taking my bond. I've sworn an oath that I will have my bond. You called me a dog before you had any reason to. But since I'm a dog, beware of my fangs. The Duke will give me justice. I wonder, jailer, how you can be so foolish as to let this prisoner out his cell. Please, listen to me. I want my bond. I won't listen to you. I want my bond, so stop talking. I won't be taken for a fool who sighs and gives it to Christian meddlers. Don't follow me. I'm not talking with you. I want my bond. He exits. He's the most stubborn dog that ever lived among humans. Leave him alone. I won't follow him around with useless pleas anymore. He wants me dead. I know the real reason. I've often given money to people who were unable to pay back their loans to him. That's why he hates me. I'm sure the Duke will never allow this contract to be enforced. The Duke cannot deny the law because that would threaten the security of all foreign merchants in Venice, and that's how the city makes its money. If the government disregards the law, it will be discredited. So go. I've lost so much weight worrying about my losses that I'll hardly have a pound of flesh to spare my bloody creditor tomorrow. Well, jailer, let's go. I hope to God that Bassanio comes to see me pay his debt. After that, I don't care what happens. They exit. Scene 4. Belmont, a room in Portia's house. Portia, Nerissa, Lorenzo, and Jessica enter with Balthazar, a servant of Portia's. Madam, I hope you don't mind my saying that I admire your noble respect for friendship, which you show in letting your husband go off to help his friend like this. If you only knew the man you're helping out, and what a faithful gentleman he is, and how much he loves your husband, I know you'd be even prouder of your kindness than you normally be. I've never regretted doing so, and I don't now. Friends who spend a lot of time together and really care equally for each other must have many traits in common. Since Antonio is my husband's best friend, they must be very similar men. In that case, the money I've sent is small price to pay to rescue someone who resembles my Bassanio, who's like my own soul. Anyway, let's change the subject. Since I feel like I'm starting to flatter myself, I have a favor to ask of you. Lorenzo, please take charge of the management of my house until my husband comes back. I've sworn to God that I'll live a life of prayer and contemplation until my husband returns. Only Nerissa will keep my company. There's a monastery 2 miles away where we can stay. Please say you'll agree because I really need you to do this. Madam, with all my heart, I'll do anything you ask. I've already spoken to my staff about this. They'll consider you and Jessica masters of this house in place of Lord Bassanio and myself. So goodbye until we meet again. I hope you can relax and enjoy yourself. I hope you find a peace and happiness, my lady. Thank you. I wish you the same. Goodbye, Jessica. Jessica and Lorenzo exits. Now, Balthazar, you've always been honest and faithful to me, and I trust you still are. She gives Balthazar a letter. Take this letter to Padua as fast as you can. Make sure you put it into the hands of my cousin Valerio, the doctor of laws. And as quickly as possible, take whatever letters and clothes he gives you to the public ferry that goes back and forth to Venice. Don't waste time talking now. Just go. I will meet you at the ferry. I'll go as fast as I can, madam. He exits. Come on, Nerissa. I have many things to do that you don't even know about yet. We'll see our husbands before they even have a chance to miss us. Will they see us? They will, Nerissa, but we will be disguised as men. I'll bet you anything that I'll be handsomer than you when we were both dressed up. I'll wear my sword more gracefully and speak like a teenage boy and walk with a manly stride rather than my ladylike steps. I'll talk about fights like a bragging youth, and I'll tell cute lies about honorable ladies who fell in love with me and got sick and died when I rejected them. They just died. What could I do? Then I'll start feeling sorry for them, wishing I had not killed them. I'll tell 20 lies like that so men will think I'm graduated from school at least a year ago. I know 1,000 immature tricks like that, and I'll use them all. Why are we turning to men? What kind of question is that? If I had a dirty mind, I'd think you meant turning men for sex. Here, I'll tell you my whole plan in my carriage, which is waiting for us at the gate. So hurry up, because we have 20 miles to cover today. They exit. Scene 5. The same. A garden. Lancelot and Jessica enter. Lancelot. Yes, look, it's true that children are punished for their sins of their fathers. That's why I'm worried about you. I've always been straightforward with you, so now I'm telling you what I think. Cheer up, because I think you're going to hell. There's only one hope for you, and even that's a kind of illegitimate hope. What hope is that, may I ask? You can hope your father isn't your real father. Maybe your mother fooled around and you aren't the Jew's daughter. That really is an illegitimate hope. Then I'd be punished for the sins of my mother. In that case, I'm afraid you're damned by both your father and your mother. When you avoid one trap, you fall in another. You are in trouble either way. My husband will save me. He's made me a Christian. He was wrong to do that. There were enough Christians before, as many of them as could stand to live near each other. All these new Christians will make the price of hogs go up. If we are all pork eaters, we won't be able to get our hands on the slice of bacon, even if we got the money for it. Lorenzo enters. I'll tell my husband what you've said, Lancelot. Here he comes. You're going to make me jealous, Lancelot, if you keep talking my wife into dark corners like this. No, you don't need to worry about us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I cannot agree on anything. He says I won't get into heavens because I'm a Jew's daughter, and he says you are irresponsible because by converting Jews to Christianity, you're raising the price of the pork. I can justify that better than you can justify sleeping with Portia's African servant. The Moor is pregnant with your child, Lancelot. It's too bad there's more of Moor than there ought to be. Well, even if she's less than honest woman, she's still a lot more respectable than I thought at first. Any fool can make puns. I think the best signs of intelligence will soon be silence, and talking will only be a good thing for parrots to do. Go in and tell the servants to get ready for the dinner. That's already done, sir. They're already ready to eat the dinner. Good Lord, what a clown you are. Tell them to make the dinner. Will you cover then? No, sir. I know my duty. You keep finding ways to mock me. Are you planning on showing me all your wit at once? Please understand my simple message. Go tell the servants to set the table and bring in food, and we'll come in to dinner. About the table, sir, dinner will be served on it. As for the food, it will be served in covered dishes. As for your coming into the dinner, just do what you feel is right. Lancelot exits. Oh, he's good at bending words around. The fool has memorized a whole army full of fancy words. I know jesters in better positions with the same talent he has. They also like to digress from the topic at hand by playing with language. Anyway, how are you, Jessica? And how's your life? And how do you like your Lord Bassanio's wife? I like her more than I can say. Bassanio should live an upstanding life because having a wife like Portia is a blessing. It's as if he found heaven on earth. And if he doesn't deserve this joy on earth, he'll never deserve it in heaven. Imagine what would happen if two gods in heaven made a bet. If one of them used Portia as his stake, the other god would have a hard time coming up with a human woman to match her value. The poor, rude world doesn't have her equal. And good wife as she is, that's how good a husband I am to you. I'll be the judge of that. I'll give you a chance to judge later. First, let's go to dinner. No, let me say some good things about you while I'm in the mood. No, please save it for dinner conversation. That way, no matter what you say, I'll digest it with everything else. In that case, I'll serve you up like a dish of food. Then they exit. Act 4, Scene 1. Well, we'll not be taking Act 4 in this video. Do check out the next video. You should see a link on top right of this video. Just click on it and you'll be navigated to Act 4. I hope you've understood whatever paraphrasing I've done. If in case you did, do like this video, do subscribe to my channel so that you get the latest updates. And I also make videos on demand, so if you think you don't understand any of the concept in your syllabus, do mention it in the comment section and I will make a video tutorial just for you. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.